Tell me when, Tom.
He can't hear you.
He can.
hear you.
He's got his ear out.
Do one of you all mind taking a photo with my phone?
Sure.
Michael,
Okay.
go.
Good morning to you. It's live from the Heartland again, and here we are at downtown Chicago. Hey, it's Michael James here with Tom Clark and Katie Hogan, and we're here on St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. And we're having a great time. We have a good lineup. We have Ram Villivalam, and he is running for the state senate. We have Liana Wallace and Onyx York. They're out of Evanston Township High School, and they've been participating in walkouts. And we have famed filmmaker Dennis Mueller talking about his new film, Peace Has No Borders. So good morning to you all, and get ready for an hour of good time.
Hey, Tennessee sucks.
Go Ramblers.
Go Ramblers.
And Sister Jean.
Sister Jean Dolores was,
Old when you were in school.
stop it. I can't hear myself through my ears.
Kick 'em off.
Sister Jean was one of the wonderful things that went from Mundelein to Loyola when Loyola swallowed Mundelein. I'm glad she's been there for y'all. But she was for us first, and yeah.
Those whole divisions between the guys and the girls on campus.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Now it's one school.
I thought you were going to say top of the morning to me, Michael.
Oh, top of the morning to Key.
And the balance of the day to you.
Oh, thank you.
All
And
right.
we've started off with kind of unfavorable weather, but it's supposed to improve as the day goes on.
The sun's going to shine in our backyard.
There's still time to get out there and early vote.
Just be careful of crazy people wearing green, that's all.
And cars. And looking at your phone when you're crossing
All
the
right,
street.
we
and
have
drinking.
here a candidate who needs to get back to his district, so we're really lucky that you deigned to come down here and talk to us, Ram Villivalam. Did I say your name right?
You said it perfectly.
Yeah, that's
How did I
that's
do?
what I like to hear.
You did all right. The Irish accent was great, though.
A wee bit Irish.
Ram, you are kind of one of the big names of this election, an upstart in some people's eyes. You are facing a big powerhouse in the Senate, Senators
tarnished
Silverstein,
powerhouse.
and yes, tarnished as well. Tell us about the 8th District Senate district, and why are you running for this seat?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me, first of all. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Ram Villivalam, running for state senator in the 8th District as a Democrat. The district covers about 21 neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, Montrose Avenue North, all the way to Devon Avenue, all of Devon, Lincolnwood, Skokie, Niles, Morton Grove, Glenview, and unincorporated Des Plaines. So it has a little bit of the suburbs, a little bit of the city, and it's a great district in terms of diversity, demographically
hugely.
as well. You know, it's 58% Caucasian, 25% Asian American, 13% Hispanic, 5% African American. And I'm running because I think we need some change. You know, I believe we need a new generation in government. We need more diversity in government, and we need people who will actually lead on the challenging issues that we're facing. And that's the opportunity we have here. You know, yes, Senator Silverstein is a 20-year incumbent, but he's been there for 20 years, and he's become complacent. He's violated the Ethics Act, and we need to make a change.
Well
So what
said.
challenges are being faced in the 8th District that the incumbents have not been taking on?
I would say a couple things. One is the biggest point I would make is that there's a lack of leadership, a lack of proactiveness. We have challenging issues right now. We need to reform our tax code so that we join 33 other states in the federal government to attain a graduated income tax.
Yeah.
So we can actually lower taxes on middle class families and make billionaires and millionaires pay their fair share. The incumbent has been there for 20 years. There's been no movement. We need to reduce gun violence in our communities. We're obviously seeing that more recently with what happened in Florida. I've been on the Gun Violence Prevention PAC board for the last 5 years, where we've fought to make sure we kept the ban on silencers. The NRA thinks it's a good idea to lift the ban. I don't know why. And making sure that we have gun dealer licensing. You know, if you and I have to go to the DMV to get a driver's license to prove that we're safe drivers, so should a gun dealer. Unfortunately, Governor Rauner just vetoed that legislation. But you know,
Sure
we're gonna,
did.
Yeah,
What a
Incredible.
planner.
Incredible.
it's unreal. And Governor Rauner, we can talk about Governor Rauner for a whole another hour.
But let's not.
His days are numbered.
But there's a lack of proactiveness, lack of leadership, a lack of being progressive. You know, this district actually went 49.7% for Bernie in 2016, and 49.2% for Hillary. And so there's an opportunity here to elect someone that's going to be effective, proactive, and progressive moving forward. And that's what we're looking at.
Ram Villivalam, you are endorsed by Chicago Teachers Union, Planned Parenthood, Sierra Club, AFL-CIO of Illinois, Jan Schakowsky, Mike Quigley, Louis Gutierrez.
Heavy hitters.
Indeed, indeed. I know that even with this, but this is good. You're running against an incumbent. An incumbency comes with, I get automatically reelected. How do you feel you're doing in getting through to voters who might just go down that easy road of let's repeat?
Absolutely, that's a great question. What I would say there is, yes, he's a 20-year incumbent. Not only that, he's Democratic committeeman in the 50th Ward. And,
There you go.
And so
And his wife is the alderman in the 50th ward.
I've heard that. And I would say this, you know, yes, he has name recognition. He has the advantage of the incumbency. But also, he has name recognition. You know, people know that he's been there for a long time. The people, you know, we are doing it the old-fashioned way. We're going out, knocking on doors. I've knocked on over 7,000 doors across the district. A lot of times people have said that they've never had anyone, elected official or candidate otherwise, come to their door. So that face-to-face contact is what we're mobilizing. We have been mobilizing. We also have a great Get Out the Vote operation happening right now. I'll be remiss, my field director would be remiss if I didn't mention our office is located at 3849 West Devon Avenue. Please come join us. We have about 50 people out this morning. And we think that's the way we're going to win it.
That's right.
You know, I'm
Who's
not
your
being
field director?
Ali Lichterman is actually my campaign manager. So she can come by the office and we'll give you something to do on a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
There's also folks gathering at Andre Vasquez's house this morning to go for both you and Biss. And another person we had on the show, Veronica Arola, has been sending me stuff to keep me abreast of your campaign.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about this campaign, you know, and you hit it on the head. We are trying to take out a 20-year incumbent, even though what he did was wrong and inappropriate, and he violated the Ethics Act. He's still been there for 20 years. He has name recognition, and in order to do that, we needed to build a coalition, and we've built that. You know, we've gone across and we've gotten the members of Congress that represent the district. We've got both the Chicago Tribune and Chicago Sun-Times. I was the only candidate to be endorsed by Planned Parenthood, the Sierra Club. I just got the candidate distinction from Moms Demand Action. So we've built that coalition, and I think we have what it takes to bring this across the finish line.
You know, the 50th Ward is right next to our home base, the 49th Ward, and we've been hearing for a long time about building a coalition. I think it goes back to Nazy. I remember her whole name when she ran for
2007.
Daisy Dolar.
Yeah. So tell us really about how that coalition is coming along, because we're kind of waiting for a victory over in the 50th Ward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, you know, going back to what was just said, it's we have Reclaim Chicago that has really invested in this campaign, going door to door. We have the labor movement. You know, the labor movement has stepped up and endorsed me and is going door to door.
Is there any labor endorsements for your opponent?
So it's interesting you mentioned that. You know, local operating engineers, Local 150, endorsed Senator Silverstein. At the same time, they did an independent expenditure for one of my other opponents of $55,000. So, you know, the saying goes, Chicago politics, and then you shrug, right? But the reality is he's only gotten a few endorsements. We've gotten the Illinois AFL-CIO.
No, that's great.
And I think that, you know, we have an opportunity here to really make a change.
So, I know you want to get out of here and get back to the district. Just a couple minutes, a minute or so on your history. What brought you to this? What's the work you've mostly done in your adult life? And how are your parents feeling about you right now?
Well, I appreciate that. You know, my background is I've been working for the last several years for SEIU Healthcare. I've advocated to protect home care for seniors and people with disabilities, child care for working families, Medicaid for those in need. And Bruce Rauner is someone that's been trying to cut that at every corner. And on top of that, we've been fighting to pass an increase in the minimum wage, which he also vetoed last year. So I've been on the front lines fighting Bruce Rauner's cuts to human services and tax on working people. Prior to that, I worked at the federal government in constituent services to put on job fairs, veterans resource fairs. So I'm a first-time candidate, but I have some government experience. I have some advocacy experience. I want to take that and make sure we're effective on day one as we move forward.
Mom and Dad?
They're doing well. They're holding up pretty surprisingly well. I always go back to when I was driving down to Springfield on Sunday, November 26th. I called my mom. I said, "Mom, I'm turning in 2,700 signatures. You know, I need 1,000 to get on the ballot. You can turn up to 3,000 in." And she said, "Well, turn around." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, you got to get 300 more." And I said, "Mom, it's okay. I got more than two and a half times the amount."
And that worked for you?
And that worked. You know, we were challenged, but we went door to door to get our signatures, so we knew they were rock solid. And but at the end of the day, that's what parents are there for. They care deeply. She's there every night. She's labeling and doing everything that we need to do to get this victory.
Sweet.
So you've put together a remarkable coalition to run for office. If you succeed, who would you coalesce with in the legislature?
Who I coalesce? I would coalesce. Look, I have progressive principles. You know, I have that I'm going to stick to. One of the things that I point out to is making sure that we have someone there to represent the people in the district, not party leadership, not anyone else in Springfield. And I'm honest about some of the differences. And one of them is when Cullerton and Redonio were discussing their negotiations last year. You know, there was discussion of cutting pensions, cutting workers' comp, you know, cutting the minimum wage in Cook County and Chicago, and I stood against those. You know, I was at the table when we were meeting with President Cullerton to say this is wrong. You know, and so making sure we have people that represent their districts at the same time, I know that we have to get things done. You know, and so I'm more than happy to work with President Cullerton. I'm more happy to work with senators like Senator Murphy, Laura Murphy, my neighboring district, Senator Omar Aquino. You know, this is what I've done. This is what I've done throughout my career, is worked with people to get legislation passed and provide constituent services.
So, do you have a preference for the governors?
I think that there are a lot. It's a great question. I think they're.
Are you going to avoid it? Are you already too much of a good politician?
Well, I will say that you know, I think each of them have distinct qualifications. I've worked mostly with Daniel Biss on issues like home care and child care, raising the minimum wage. I really appreciate his track record on that. I think Chris Kennedy has a great. Unfortunately, but great personal story when it comes to talking about gun violence, and obviously that's an epidemic we're facing in our city, in our state. And Pritzker, I don't love the idea of a billionaire running. At the same time, you know, we've seen it somewhat work in Minnesota and Pennsylvania from the Democratic side. And at the same time, he's able to say, look, I'm a billionaire, tax me more. You know, I believe in the progressive income tax.
Nice answer. We will all go in November and vote for whoever wins on Tuesday. Right out there, everybody?
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But it's really important in the primary that you vote for the best person.
Absolutely.
Because then we have a really good choice to win in November.
Well said.
Absolutely.
All right, are you ready to go?
I got one more question. Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to college?
Yeah, so I went to Lincoln Park High School.
My kid got kicked out of there. 2 of them. They've done very well in life, too.
Stop it.
I went to Lincoln Park High School. My wife went to Northside College Prep, and we always have debates about which is better. And she's my wife.
I'm a Jones guy.
She
Jones
usually
and
wins.
Peyton.
Yeah. And then I went to George Washington in D.C. to get my degree in political science. So
good for you.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Chicago. My parents came from India in the 1970s, and Their struggle is something that will forever remain with me. You know, they were an engineering teacher in India, but when they got here, they had to work as a dishwasher and a cashier for $2.30 an hour, and eventually they went back through school and finished with good careers. But people are still facing that struggle, and that's why we need proactive and progressive legislators to get out there and talk to folks.
Excellent.
Real pleasure to meet you this morning. Good luck in the remaining days, Ram. Real important race going on in the 8th District for Senate.
Thank you. Thank you so
Good luck
much.
to you.
Punch 41.
There you go. Good work. You are listening to Live from the Heartland. We will be right back with our second guests, high school students who had an interesting week.